Thanks for that introduction. Thanks for coming tonight. My name is Andrew Case. I'm a medical doctor, a radiologist here on Maui, and I'm proud to be known as a community member who stands up for life. Life is sacred to me, families are important to me, and helping my patients and families to live their longest and healthiest life is my overarching goal every morning when I wake up. I know defending life can be a hard, sometimes controversial topic, and one you may try to avoid discussing with your family and friends. I'm going to take a sidebar here, I think it's great that we're getting together to honor veterans. Veterans Day is coming up next week, and I want to encourage you to take some time next week and as often as you can to thank a veteran for their service. My dad is a veteran. He was an Army Ranger. He did 2 tours of duty in Vietnam, a very tough guy. My older brother and I used to joke he could start a fire by striking 2 ice cubes together. He went through a lot. My kids just know him as kindly old grandpa, but he's a tough old bird. And I call him every Veterans Day to thank him for his service. I know it means a lot, so I encourage you to do the same for our veterans. I want you to remember that those veterans protect our freedoms. And take it back once in a while, what freedoms are they protecting? And go back to the very first line of our National Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I don't think it was a mistake that the founders put life at the beginning of that sentence. I want to speak to you today to let you know that if you care about life and family, you're in good company. In my day-to-day career, I see babies in the womb, some as young as 5 to 6 weeks gestation. As I look at these ultrasounds with beating hearts and faces and arms and legs, and simply with unmistakable humanity, I know that this is undeniably a human life, sacred, and special, and unique. And while these preborn babies cannot speak, if they could, I bet they'd all want a shot to live their life, regardless of the circumstances of their creation, regardless of the circumstances to which they may be born. And I truly think if I could get some people to come into my practice and see what I see every day, I don't know if they would change their mind completely, but I think their views would definitely moderate. Also in my day-to-day career, I see patients with late-stage cancer, dementia, chronic pain, and other serious health problems. These are the people that experience suffering that no one should ever have to go through. And I and my physician colleagues, we do our best to help them. I want these patients to know, and their families to know, their life matters. If they're suffering, let's work together to find ways to help them live without pain and fear until their natural passing. I don't want to get too far off on a tangent, but our Hawaii State Legislature recently passed a physician-assisted suicide law that went into effect January 1st this last year. I was so very disappointed in that, I can't even express how disappointed I was. I attempted to let those know in power that the physician-assisted suicide law was not only against the 2,500-year-old Hippocratic Oath that I took, and as far as I know, all my physician colleagues took, and against American Medical Association recommendations, but also against good science and best practices. A 1986 study in the American Journal of Psychiatry concluded that all terminally ill patients in their study who had either desired premature death or contemplated suicide were judged to be suffering from clinical depressive illness. That is, none of those patients who did not have depression had thoughts of suicide. Dovetailing on that, again, there's science behind this. Other studies were published in Clinical Practice and the Law. If terminally ill patients who wished to die were treated for their depression and kept out of pain, 90 to 97% no longer wish to die. I could go on with more statistics and more studies of why we should not have done this in Hawaii. I'm here to speak to you today because I'm concerned that bit by bit, incrementally, we are devaluing life in this country and in our state and in our community. And I worry if even unintendedly, our leaders are incrementally chipping away the idea that life is sacred. If our state lawmakers do not respect life, then why should our young people? My 3 children are sitting here, and I often ask them, at least a couple times a week, I say, what do good decisions lead to? What do they lead to?
Good consequences.
Good consequences, is that right? That's right. What do bad decisions lead to? Bad consequences. So my hope is to foster a culture where we make good decisions, where young people in Hawaii develop a strong foundation, a core belief that all life is important, all life is sacred, and all life is special. For young people with those convictions, it would be unthinkable to harm himself, herself, or others. A recent study by the Centers of Disease Control showed that suicide rate in Hawaii has gone up 18% from 1999 to 2016. This is just, to me, so incredibly sad. Last year, I was very personally affected by this when one of my physician colleagues took his own life. I wish he had known what a special person he was. I wish he had reached out to me or someone, anyone, for help. I wish he had known it was okay to ask for help, that it was okay to let others know he reached the end of his rope. For reasons I'll never know, he didn't think his life mattered. I'm up here to remind you that all life is sacred, all life is special. Our greatest gift from God is our salvation. Our second greatest gift is our life. Treasure that gift. Enjoy that gift. I want to reach out to anyone in here who may be going through a hard time right now, or anyone who may encounter a hard time in the future. If you forget everything else I just said, please remember this. As long as you're alive, you have the potential to improve whatever situation you are in. I'm going to say that again. As long as you're alive, you have the potential to improve whatever situation that may be causing you sadness or pain. Your life matters. Always. All life is sacred. All life is special. And I just want to end. Remember, we don't have to agree on anything to be kind to one another. Plenty of people disagree with me. Let's be kind to each other. I think that's so important in today's society. We're starting to lose sight of that. So to close, let's go back to the rights and freedoms our veterans have fought for and died for. Our life, our liberty, and our pursuit of happiness. I wish you life, and life with abundance. I wish you the liberty to pursue your dreams to the best of your ability. And I wish you the very best of luck in your own personal pursuit of happiness. Thanks so much for coming out today and caring about life.